dissect the game and what happened, but it's a good win. A win is a win in the league, and the Bucks, again, after a bounce back team meeting, etc., you hear things like that. It's good to see them respond in a positive way. So no matter who is on the floor for the Bucks or the Lakers, the fact that they played hard, they played with energy, they see shots fall from certain guys that haven't been shooting it great. It was a great win. And on the flip side, on the Lakers, when they're so banged up like this, they're giving opportunity to other guys that haven't got the reps, that haven't got it, that could be useful come playoff time.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because, as I said, Bronny had 17 points off the bench. Chandler, would you like to assess what you saw? Can he earn more minutes?
Yeah, I love it. I think, and this just simple from confidence standpoint. This just shows him that, look, I can go out here and I can be an effective NBA player. You watch these highlights, like he's getting to his mid-range, he's coming off screen shooting threes, he's getting to the rim, with nice finishes. So when this is a great just kind of step for him and his progression and his development to see, like, look, okay, I belong, I'm here. No matter how many minutes, spot minutes I can do here, I think defense is his calling. Even when they're fully healthy, I think they can find spot minutes for him to come in, pressure 94 feet, be active, do all the little things a rookie should do, and let the scoring and let his game keep developing. But last night, I gotta say, I was impressed. He looked like a legit player, and he looked confident, he looked confident, and he looked comfortable.
That's what you want to see from a young guy, especially when you're developing somebody. You want them to go out on the floor. You want to see improvement. You want to see development, and go out there, take advantage of the opportunity. Last night, he knew he had a chance to play some big-time minutes, and he went out there and proved that he's worthy enough to earn minutes at this level. And so when you're a young guy, use this as a stepping stone. Now I know I can get to my mid-range. Now I know I can get to the rim. I can use my three ball as being a threat. Just continue to build, continue to grow, and don't allow the outside noise to distract you. That was a good one.
And you know what? I'll say that all these people are like, oh, he doesn't belong in the NBA, this. Not anybody can just go into an NBA game and have 17 points. So this kid doesn't stink. He might not be, he can play, and he proved that last night. So I think a lot of guys that have doubt and that hate, I get it, it's totally natural just given the circumstances, but I think last night kind of opened up some eyes, even for JJ Redick and that coaching staff, that look, this kid can give us something.
Yeah, that was a good showing even for the haters. JJ Redick, very hopeful that LeBron will be able to come back on Saturday. That's against the Bulls, which would be the start of the final 13 games of the season. I don't know if you want to look at this as like a blessing in disguise. They're 3-3 without him, and he's been able to have at least a bit of a rest. They're only a half game back of Denver for the 3 seed. So does this seem to have worked out at best case scenario? It
did. It worked out. They weathered the storm. They could have easily been 4-2 in this stretch, but they ended up landing on 3-3, and you can get him back, early as tomorrow, back in a uniform. That was like the best case scenario, opposed to the wheels falling off for this team. Seeing some videos of him revving it back up, getting himself back in the rhythm. That looks encouraging. And you give a 40-year-old guy an opportunity to rest his legs at this point of the year, and having the team that you have, that should be encouraging for everybody involved on the Lakers side.
Yeah, the fact that they stayed 500, I'm kind of looking at Golden State. If, let's say, Steph misses the next 16, if they were 3-3 or 4-2, I think that's a huge win. So the fact that the Lakers were able to stay afloat, we're able to kind of get production from other guys, I think was great. Even a game like this, where now you see Cam Reddish get minutes, Shake Milton get minutes, Bronny James get minutes. These are opportunities that they haven't really had as much this season, with Austin Reeves out, with LeBron out, with Luka out. And who knows, their number might get called in the playoffs in a series, and they might have to play a 4 or 5 minute stretch where they're going to look back on games like this where they had the reps, they had the experience. So obviously LeBron, he's coming back soon. They're a completely different, better team with him, but this team is going to probably make a deep run in the postseason, and they're going to need everybody at a certain point.
We got to talk a little Knicks here.
Would you believe the Lakers are going to be the 2 seed in the Western Conference?
I mean, I would believe it, but more importantly for me, I want my guys rested up. I want LeBron rested up, ready to go. So as long as we stay in, I would say in the top 4, I'm good with it. I'm great.
Right now they sit 4. The key is to stay top 6. The key is to stay top 4 if you want home court advantage. And there's all those little particulars. Stephen A was on First Take yesterday saying if you're the Lakers, you're not really that concerned about anyone you have to play, with one exception.
If you're the Los Angeles Lakers this particular year, there's no one outside of Oklahoma that you should feel concerned about. If LeBron and Doncic is healthy in the lineup together with a Rui Hachimura back and you're fully loaded, I think the only team the Lakers have to worry about is OKC.
Okay, so the only team they have to worry about is OKC. Let's be clear, because I think, D. Wood, you just made the point. This is not about where teams wind up seeding. You don't care where they wind up seated so long as they're rested, ready to go, and then it winds up how the bracket falls.
Right.
At the end of the day, we all believe that the Thunder are going to make it to the conference final. Monica, if you had to pick the next most likely team, the team you would say is likeliest, has the best chance of being the last one standing with them, and granted ahead of time, we don't know what the brackets are going to look like. Is it the Lakers?
I'm still on Denver. I just think, and now with the Warriors having had this injury to Steph now, I just think that these injuries are sort of temperamental. And remember, playoffs, everything gets, intensity is heightened, rest is shortened. And so I'm a little worried about a hamstring, a little worried about a pelvic bone, and I come back to Denver and Nikola Jokic having another MVP quality type of season and a core that still has a championship experience from their win a couple of years back.
So you say Nuggets. Bobby, how about you? The team that you think poses the best chance. I guess we could say the biggest threat to the Thunder in the West, but I'm really thinking here is which team would you put your money on being the last ones standing with OKC?
Well, it's the team that's not in the top 6 right now, Greeny, and it's Minnesota. Minnesota is at 8 right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They've had two bad losses in their last 2 games here. I just look at their strength of schedule, easiest among Western Conference playoff teams. I think the goal is certainly to get out of that 7-8 range there, and if they can get to 6, I could see them beating a Houston or Memphis in the first round and potentially getting to a conference finals.
Now, the teams that we don't talk about that much are the 2 teams that are currently 7 and 8.
Come on, Greeny, and we need to talk about them 2 teams.
The Clippers and the Timberwolves?
We need to be talking about those 2 teams.
Tell me why.
Every reason that Bobby just mentioned for the Timberwolves, co-sign, repost, retweet, whatever you want to call it. When it comes to the Clippers, the other night, they're starting to get healthy. Ty Lue's obviously head coach having some back issues. Hopefully he gets back to the sideline. He's healthy. But I know we're all sort of frustrated with Kawhi Leonard, but he's still got it. James Harden quietly has been having a year that you could put him into the MVP conversation if you wanted to. He's kept that team afloat when they lost Norman Powell, when Kawhi Leonard was in and out of the lineup. Zubats gives you size. They've got the ability to shoot the ball. They can defend when they lock in. Now, I know they haven't had a whole lot of time to gel as a collective, but I do think that you got to watch out for both of those teams.
Harden isn't having a good year quietly. He's having a good year silently.
Yeah.
Harden is averaging 22.5 points and 9 assists
Come
a game.
on, right? And from the carrying it, scoring, and facilitating piece of it all, it's sort of renaissance to when he was one of the more widely talked about players in the league.
All of that said, how do you feel, D. Wood?
Outside of OKC is anybody. Like, that's the way I feel. Even as a Lakers fan, there's not a team that I can look up and down and give reasons why they could be playing OKC in the finals. That's how wide open the West is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about, and Bobby, you know this, we talked about the home court advantage thing. That's going to be huge. And then it literally is going to be who gets hot at the right time, because there's a strength for each group. But to your point, Woody, there's a way for everybody to get there.
Bobby, final word.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, if Minnesota, the Clippers play in that 7-8 play-in game, it's basically an elimination game because you don't want to be that 8 seed having to go to Oklahoma City for that first